Welcome back to another video, Rams Nation. Today I'm bringing to you the preview between the 7-3 Rams and the 8-2 Saints. The Rams are coming off of a 24-7 loss against the Minnesota Vikings, and the New Orleans Saints are coming off of a 34-31 win in overtime versus the Washington Redskins. Like every video, I'm going to talk about team stats first. First, points per game. The Rams average 30.3 points per game, which is second in the NFL. And the Saints are right behind them with 30.2 points per game, which is third in the NFL. You can't get much closer than that. Points allowed, the Rams allow 18.6 points per game, and that is sixth best in the NFL. And the Saints allow 19.6. Very close there. The first two numbers are very similar between these two teams. Now, pass yards per game, the Rams average 255 pass yards per game, and the Saints average 271.7 pass yards per game, which is second in the NFL. And rush yards per game, we have two good rushing teams here. We have the Rams, who have 120.4 rush yards per game, and the Saints are the third best with 144 rush yards per game. Now, total yards per game, the Rams have 375.4 per game, which is fourth in the NFL, and the Saints have 415.7, which is first in the NFL. Now, as far as injuries go, the Rams did suffer quite a few injuries in the loss to the Vikings. The first one I'm going to go over is Robert Woods. He was carted off late in the game. That was to get him out into the locker room. It wasn't a lower leg injury like many think when you get carted off. It was a shoulder injury he suffered with 2 minutes left in the game. And Sean McVay said he will be out for a couple of weeks, which is not good. That means Sammy Watkins is going to have to step up. Josh Reynolds or Pharoh Cooper, you might see them to get in the game a little bit more. Maybe even Mike Thomas. The second injury is Kayvon Webster. He suffered a concussion, so he will be questionable for this game. Then Nikel Roby-Coleman suffered a thigh injury in the first half and did not play in the second half, so that is not a good sign. He will either be listed as questionable, but he will more likely be listed as doubtful. And Andrew Whitworth, Connor Barwin, and John Sullivan will all get their rest, maybe even Mark Barron. They'll be on the injury report for rest. And then Malcolm Brown, he suffered that knee injury a couple weeks ago. He will most likely miss this game as well. And as far as the Saints go, they're pretty banged up too. The Defensive Rookie of the Year front runner, Marshawn Lattimore suffered an ankle injury early in the game. He did come back in, but then he left again and did not return. So he'll play this game. Also, Alex Okafor, he did miss the. He got injured in the fourth quarter, and he did not return. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. So Alex Okafor missed the game a little bit in the fourth quarter, but I don't know how he will be. He'll probably be doubtful. And then Kenny Vaccaro and AJ Klein both missed last game, and their status is up in the air for this game. Well, who are the Saints? They are led by Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees. Simple as that. One of the best pass offenses in the NFL. And they have Michael Thomas, who is part of the reason that they have a good pass offense. He is having a great sophomore season. And then this is the elephant in the room. Mark Ingram and rookie running back Alvin Kamara form the best running back duo in the NFL. Now, how do the Rams beat them? Well, they got to do a few things. Easier said than done. You got to stop that running back duo. You got to stop the run. No one does it better than Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. The Rams have to do a better job tackling in this one. Tackling has been a little shaky for the Rams so far this year. And number two, the Rams have to get sacks. The Rams did not get a single sack last game, and the first sack they get in this game will, bring up the defense's morale. So it's kind of like the Miami turnover chain. The Rams got to get a sack and pick that defense up. It's not a turnover, but it's something that would pick up the defense. Second, a little more on offense now. Run the ball. Give Gurley the ball. The Saints allow 128 rush yards per game, so Gurley will have a better. He'll have a better game this time around. We got to get the pass game open with some play action. Cooper Kupp and Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee will all have a big game if the Rams are able to open up the play action game. Also, give Gurley a bunch of screens. Just give Gurley the ball in general. He didn't get the ball enough in the Vikings game, part of the reason why we lost. But give them the ball, and the Rams will win this game. And that's it for the keys to winning. It's very interesting that the last meeting between the Rams and Saints was Week 12 of last year. Now they play in Week 12 of this year. The Saints did win last year 49-21. Now, if you remember correctly, that was Jared Goff's second start of his career, and it was probably his best game of 2016. He had 214 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception, but all 3 touchdowns came in the first half, which was crazy. Like Jared Goff, 3 touchdowns in 1 half. That was amazing. The Rams did score 21 first half points, but did not score a single point in the second half. That led to the fall in that game. That was supposed to be a shootout. The Saints did their part. It looked like the Rams were going to do their part too, but it ended up not being so. I think the Saints were winning 28-21 at halftime, so it did look like a shootout. I don't really expect it to be like that this year. But and last year, the Saints did rack up 555 total yards, which is crazy amount of yards. And now that leads me to my prediction this year, and I think it's going to be a shootout, but not like last year. I think you have 2 offenses that are great, you have 2 defenses that are great coming together, and I think the Rams do rebound from scoring 7 points, obviously, and I do have the Rams winning 31-27, 4-point game. I think it's going to come down final 5 minutes or so. It's going to be a very good game. There's going to be a lot of yards racked up, a lot of points. So that's it for this video, Rams Nation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. There's a 250 subscriber giveaway. Please like, comment, share. Thank you very much. Go Rams.